and the whole world is your home. And we are part of the SHIB family. Massive love show to the SHIB and everybody that's been in SHIB for the last 5 years. Yes, this is SHIB's fifth year with us. So thank you so much for everybody that's coming in and celebrating this. We have a massive show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about the raffle, of course, the update on the raffle. And of course, this is the SHIB TV live broadcast from Calgary, Alberta. And we bring in you this for the update that's in SHIB, because I know everybody is interested in why we have this massive sell-off today and why we've had this whole massive sell-off for the whole week. Cryptocurrencies are kind of funny this way. They look at the CPI data, even though it has nothing to do with them. They look at the Federal Reserve, even though they're a worldwide event throughout the entire world, the UK, Asia. We always bring this up, right? So massive welcome to everybody that comes in and shares with everybody that's what's going on in the world. So yeah, so what this means for you and I is that it has a chance for us to reflect on what's important and what's going on with SHIB and the cryptocurrencies. But I got to remind everybody, this is a worldwide event. So it's not just Canada and the US. It's also Argentina, Colombia, Mexico, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, Antarctica, right? Like it's all 7 continents. We're all in it to win it. Now, if you're basing your final calculations on what is the US doing with SHIB or cryptocurrencies, I'm sorry, but they don't make up the whole world, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, they are only a small percentage of it. Now, majority of the country does do better than the rest of the world usually because their GDP is at $30 trillion. But that being said, we have Asia, which is China, Russia, Africa, and we have India and Pakistan in the UK. So you're talking billions of people, not millions of people, billions of people. Now, the wealth of the world sits in only a few. That's why they call it the G20 states. So Cam C22, all the best. Can you put your Cam? Massive love show to you, by the way, and thank you so much for coming to this channel. And really appreciate all those that come in and comment. Absolutely love it when people do that. That's fantastic. It shows that you're paying attention. And we were supposed to be hosting a raffle tonight, but as usual, we haven't sold any tickets. Pretty hard to have a raffle when you don't sell tickets, right? And I'm looking for new designs on the tickets because we haven't done very well with the ticket sales or promotions. I'm not sure why that is. I was hoping that I would be counting on the exchanges to help with the promotion because it does increase volume. Volume increases demand. Demand increases, you got it, more ticket sales. So, of course, we want more ticket sales. I just subscribed. Can I get a shout out to my massive love show to Ben Dover, you rotten youngster. Lenamar, you great son of a bee. Right, seriously out of luck. Jeez. You got me to say it, you're rotten youngster. So congratulations. Way to go. You bad bones. Bad bones. Bad. How's everybody doing? Everybody's doing great on this Saturday evening. Well, maybe it's Saturday morning where you are or Sunday morning where you are. So massive shout out to everybody in the world because this is a worldwide broadcasting show, even though we are a little slow sometimes with names, as you can pretty well tell, but it's funny. Not gonna doubt you there. It's pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, so it's hard to get raffle going that's going to help everybody in SHIB if we can't get any ticket sales, right? So before we get ticket sales, though, we need a massive community behind us. And 80% of everything we make in this channel goes towards every single one of you because we are reducing SHIB with the other 50% of it, 50% going towards the winner or winners. The cap that we have is roughly, what is the cap now? It's over 100 billion per person that gets it, okay? So it's 100 billion SHIB that you would get. So that's the max, right? It works out to £1 million. Now, what's the burn then? The burn's unlimited until we run out of supply. So we only have so many tickets that we have available. That's absolutely true. Massive show to fives. Sup, gang? In the house. We are early, fives. We are early. Tonight we're early. That's because I got prior engagements that I have to attend later on. And we're going to be Ball Cap in the house. Hi, y'all. Massive love shout to Ball Cap. We're going to hold a segment where I'm going to change the raffle tickets. And then it's going to have the QR code where you can actually purchase the tickets. Okay, on the QR code. So you can punch up as soon as the tickets, you'll see the QR code on the tickets. Now, I want to know from everybody, should I host an event for the pick of the raffle tickets? We'll do a few segments on the raffle tickets, what they're going to look like, and then pick the best one that looks the best. Or do you like it the way it is right now? Did everybody go to check out the website? Okay, it's SHIB5050raffle.com. Got the notifications, and we'll see. Got the notifications. Excellent, fives. Of course, it's always a pleasure to have everybody come on, right? Regardless, 80% of everything we make in the channel goes towards what? SHIB reduction. So, of course, we want more people. Absolutely, we want more people. We're dependent on the whole entire SHIB community. Now, where are we here? We are 41. Was that 45 trillion? 45, but it's slowed down. So we have whale movement. Whales are buying SHIB. They're taking advantage of the sell-off. Now, I'm not sure if they're the ones causing the sell-off, because that's usually what happens with sell-offs, is that someone's doing the narrating. So usually what happens is people start putting out bad vibes on the marketplaces. Like I said before, with the Federal Reserve, it's only one country, and majority of the rest of the countries have cut their interest rates. It's just that the U.S. is lagging, trying to drive their dollar up for a few more months. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with Jerome Powell and the Democratic Party trying to put a ceasefire on Trump. Because if those tariffs work, guess what happens? They look bad, because they could have done this 4 years ago, when they had I don't know if you can call him a president in power, right? Just somebody that they can move around the chessboard with. And I don't think that they're going to be very successful trying to find the auto pen, but that's just me. Because it's going to be very, very hard to prove. Because the Oval Office, there's how many people are in there? 3 or 4 people in there. How many of them are going to tell them it's a bad idea when they're all in on it together? Right. So that's going to be very, very interesting. And they're all pleading the fifth right now, if you noticed. So they don't want to rat themselves out because, yeah, there probably was an auto pen, but trying to prove it, that's going to be the other problem. It's going to be very, very difficult to prove. But the Fed, it should have zero impact. We had the same last week. We should have the same this week, right? But what happened was, I think there's a bit of fear-mongering going on about what is going on with cryptocurrencies. That's why we're having a sell-off and people are moving from crypto into stocks. Usually that's what's happening. But in this case, the stocks are selling off too. So I'm not exactly sure of what it is that what's going on, right? So that would be my guess, is that's usually what happens. Someone's trying to buy up all the negativity. So the whole cryptocurrency is taking a bit of a down cycle for last week because they're blaming it on the Fed. but the Fed has basically nothing to do with it. Maybe it's time to just VE. You think it's time to give up, VE? Where would you go, VE? Stable coins, right? That's where you do. You go into stable coins when you see a massive sell-off. VE. No one's saying go to work. Give up. I'm going to work. No, obviously not, VE. Mass love shout out to you, by the way. Ball cap, it's been diving. Well, and that's the thing, ball cap. Like, this is the one currency that baffles me to death. Fives. Oh, awesome. Yeah. So you have whales buying, which means they know what? They probably have something to do with the reason why it's going down. Trying to what? Drive fear into everybody. That's usually the case. When you see them piling up, that's usually what's going on. Can't prove it though, right? You can only prove that they're the ones buying up on the dip. When people are selling off, they're buying up. You can prove that. VE, never give up, never. Never. Well, unless you like losing your shirt, which I don't think any of us like losing our shirt over. That's the truth of it right there. So yeah, this is the most, that's why I said that this is hard to believe, SHIB, because we're always adding value. Every time we do a reduction in SHIB circulating supply, we're always adding value. We have more people coming in. That means we have what? More value being added. Exactly. So if we have two things working for SHIB, that's extremely positive. Why are we selling off? Like, you'd have to be, I don't know, crazy or loopy to think that people like losing money when there's constantly being added value to your currency every single day. So it's not about whether or not they believe in it. It's about whether or not they can push you to sell it so that they can benefit from it. And this is one of the reasons why we brought in AI, because AI is actually working in accumulating, not selling. Okay. And the bots that are on, like when you go to crypto.com, you can get a bot, and that bot, you go with the trading bot, right? The trading bot has more wins than losses, but it's doing both. It's doing both selling and buying on options, similar to options. It's leveraging, right? Highs and lows. So basically, it's doing all the work for you. Ramirez, massive love show to Ramirez. And where are you from, Ramirez? You from Mexico or you from Spain? 67 hits today, 67 likes, 67. Is anyone in SHIB right now? Are you guys invested? Big thumbs up. Ramirez. Thanks, Ramirez. What is it? It's a box. Let's build together in the right stick. Podcast format. Yep. 67 is your age. Mexico, Ramirez. Congratulations, Ramirez. CC, senor. Fives, I'm too young. Yep. Ball cap is in there too. He's a young buck. Right now, you're listening to this business around the world. Are you still asleep? They ignore the simplest values loop ever created. We talked about this loop before. Everyone know the loop, right? Ramirez and USA. New Mexico? USA. So that's the reason why we're having a sell-off? No, no, no. Hey, Leah Romas, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see Gabrielle. Good to see everybody coming in. That's awesome. Fantastic. It's fantastic. We love it when people come in and have a great time in here, because that's what we're all about, is having a great time and enjoying the SHIB TV live broadcast channel. Excellent. Opportunities coming. Just stay focused on shakers. Well, okay, so SHIB, we talked about this before, right? Ball cap and fives. Good. Use your anger. Just that's fine. That's fine, ball cap. Pretty soon we're gonna make you, well, SHIB is gonna make you a millionaire. How's that sound? It makes you stronger. Exactly, fives. It makes you stronger. So, well, one thing you don't take for granted is the fact that we continue to sell off, even though we're constantly adding value to SHIB, but with the reductions and with the people coming in. So that's fantastic that we have people coming in to SHIB in droves, but they've slowed down a little bit. So gotta take that to heart a little bit, right? Ow! Because SHIB should be what? Gaining more and more people. No word of a lie, right? Especially with lower what? Prices, right? Lower prices should drive in more people. Unlimited power. That's the loop. The loop, Ramirez, I'm 8 years old. You are not 8 years old, Ramirez. And if you are, congratulations and welcome to the show. We had Ariola, who said that she was 7 and she was part of the show. And Abby is from Edmonton, and Mark Anthony is from Toronto. It's out, not from, right, out in Toronto. Abby's in Edmonton. Massive love shout out to Abby, by the way. Massive love shout out to Mark Anthony. And we talked about this loop before. The loop is reducing, creating more volume, and that's exchanges, right? Because all the exchanges look for is the volume. So more volume means what? More demand. More demand drives volume, so it drives more people. More people drives higher volumes. How do you create that volume? You reduce SHIB. It's a pretty simple formula. It's a pretty simple format too. Fives, 14 years old. Excellent. Everybody, 18, 19. Ramirez, I'm on 3 grand. Okay, SHIB turned 5, guys. You're not competing, okay? Regulations, AI. Is what we're all... Okay, so AI is going to make it faster, right? Gabrielle, hi, Gabrielle. Massive love shout out to you. Where's Leah? There you go, Leah. Add you as a moderator. In case you had your own show. Fives. It's Toto. There you go, Toto. $36. Excellent, Toto. Massive love shout out to Toto. And welcome to the channel. I hope that doesn't take anywhere in the Wizard of Oz. All of us will be in trouble. And while they wait for regulations, AI isn't waiting at all. So, and that was to that was to show the literacy print value and reducing supply. Welcome. No problem. Fives. Always welcome. Always welcome. Want to make sure that everybody gives that like button a smash. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Keep informed of what's going on. And so, because we're trying to get this raffle going. I know that the raffle is going to upset AI. So it's probably one of the reasons why we're getting suppressed from even starting. Google, every exchange I've had issues with the raffle because they believe that you can't host a raffle unless you have registration from every country. But the truth of the matter is, SHIB is not legal tender anywhere in the world, so we have to make sure everybody understands that. So that means that because it's not legal tender anywhere in the world, you can do whatever you want with it. And SHIB doesn't have any what? Governance. So then you don't need to talk to anybody. So if you wanted to start your own segment, your own little enterprise in SHIB, you can. Just make sure that you get everybody behind you before you start something so that you can sell and then you can burn with the sale of SHIB. Remember that every sale that you make is a write-off. You can write off a certain percentage of it as a corporate loss every single day. Your mapping, your advertising, your marketing strategies, everything that you have to pay for out of pocket is an expense. That's a corporate expense. That's 100% write-off. Everybody understand that? Okay, so what's throwing another $5 into the hat or another $10 into the hat and saying that I'm reducing SHIB as a shirt write-off or 2 shirts or 3 shirts or a cup of coffee because you're selling coffee cups? And of course, you know, shipping, it always destroys cups, or your label's wrong. It's not perfect, right? Then you have to change all the labels on all your cups. That's going to cost a lot of money, right? Make sure that everything's perfect so it's ready for sale. Everybody understand that? Right. So when you're doing up SHIB memorabilia, or you want to do up like pins or hats or headbands or scarves, and you want to do up a SHIB thing, you don't have to talk to the ecosystem development team because there isn't a central point. There's no CEO, there's no wages. You can do up your own thing in SHIB. That's the beauty of SHIB. There's no one to tell you that you can't do it. Now, the logo, there's a guy that invented the logo, and he didn't intend on anyone, the little dog face coin. He didn't intend on any, like, putting that out there for people to make money off of. Now he's trying to get some royalties on it. No problem, Fives. 3 bags full. Yeah, so if you're all wanting to start your own project in SHIB, just be careful what you do. That's all. And how you present it. You don't have to worry about copyright infringements. You don't have to worry about, because there's nobody in SHIB. So each of the holders are part of SHIB. So there's no one to talk to. There's no one to get permission from. So that's the beauty of SHIB. That's why we love SHIB so much, because anybody can do anything that they want with it. We want to reduce the supply. We also want to drive in more demand. We want everybody in the world to start piling into SHIB. The sooner the better. That's why we tell 10 friends. You tell 10 friends, they tell 10 friends, they tell 10 friends. It's similar to the movie. Do you remember what the movie was called? Pay It Forward. Right. So similar to Pay It Forward, whereas he helped 3 people and he struggled, right, to help 3 people because it's not supposed to be easy. It's got to be something that's hard to do, like help a complete and utter stranger off the street, give him food, shelter, and provide for him. Try and get him out of being homeless and off and away from everything. But that also meant following him around. It also meant trying to help him out the best way you know how, right? What happened? He relapsed. He went right back into heroin, as the story goes. And then he came to him and he says, listen, I helped you out. I helped you get clean. Where is your help that you're helping yourself out? Because that's what I'm trying to do, is pay it forward. The whole story was that everybody understood that if you paid it forward, and it's not easy to do, and it's supposed to be something that's hard, that you can't recall it, right? So that everybody learns from it and everybody benefits from it. That's how you change the world, right? Toto 36, welcome to freedom. 5's freedom. That's right. That's what SHIB is supposed to give all of us, right? It's freedom. So that's the whole point of it, is to get everybody out there and spread the word about SHIB, because it costs you what? A lottery ticket's worth to get in, which is nothing when you think about it. Like right now, it's going to cost you $12 to buy 1 million SHIB. $12. Imagine getting Bitcoin for $12. 1 million Bitcoin for $12. Can you imagine? Be like, well, you'd be in the same boat. You'd all be like this and saying, well, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Right? And then they're going to say, well, you said that it's going to be the next Bitcoin. I didn't say that. SHIB is going to be better than Bitcoin. How do you know that? It's constantly reducing its supply, guys. Constantly reducing its supply. More wallet holders coming in because they can afford it. So it's going to have a massive riding. It should be, like, no word of a lie, 6 to 7 million, 30 million, 40 million investors invested through SHIB. We already have approximately 30 million in some ways, right? We don't know. We can't keep track of them because the decentralized exchanges aren't sharing that knowledge, as we found out earlier when I did a segment on Bluebit. They're not sharing any information at all with whoever's on their exchange. All you're going to know is they're RC20. They're an RC20 that they're buying, that they allow SHIB to be on their platform. That's the only way you're going to know. Moomoo, we know that Moomoo also has SHIB, same problem. They don't share that information. They're not transparent with their holders, with their wallets, okay? What happens to at the drive, ball cap? So ball cap, you have to explain that a little bit more. What happens at the drive through? Oh, you're talking about McDonald's and Wendy's and Tim Hortons and Starbucks and all the little franchisees that continue. Okay, so theirs is a little different, right? Their buy-ins are a little different, and pay it forward. Right. So the pay it forward is, you know that SHIB is constantly reducing its supply, and you know it's constantly adding more wallet holders, which should in turn increase the price. But because we have such a massive amount of SHIB, and there's a lot of people holding massive amounts of SHIB, they're in control of which direction SHIB goes right now. So the pay it forward is to tell everybody SHIB is the next massive movement that's going to make everybody extremely wealthy. And that's true. Because with massive movement and everybody coming in, everybody wins. Everybody wins in SHIB. But you get to see the downside of everybody buying massive chunks of it, because they're the ones dumping it for little or nothing. Because it's all about percentages. It's all about the 15 to 20% that they get off of their $50,000, $60,000 investment. Whereas me and you are looking at it going, well, I'm only investing when I'm afford to lose, which is nothing. So I'm only investing $20 into it. $15 into it, $12 right now into it. I'm not taking that big of a risk. So those guys that want to spend $50,000, go knock your socks off, because it's all about what? It's all about getting it for a lower price so I can get in, I can get out at a higher price. But the rest of us are looking at it going, well, that's a great idea, but you're actually into value the moment you buy it. But they don't understand that, right? Massive, you say. Yes, massive fives. Okay, so everybody knows that the top 40 wallet holders are holding 400 trillion SHIB right now. Now, how do they acquire that? Overnight? No. It was only 383 trillion a couple days ago, like last month, before June. June was 383 trillion. Now it's 400 trillion. Right? So they've been accumulating. But who are they? Well, they could be just regular people, or they could be the exchanges themselves, but we don't know, right? Most of the whales that have been in the last 96 hours or last week have been whales. There's no proof of AI buying or accumulating SHIB, so it's basically just whales that are buying up SHIB because they can at a lower price. Low. Taper. Fada. Yeah, well, that's just it, fives. We don't have much news other than the fact that, and this is Saturday, everybody, so please keep that in mind. So the news is kind of trapped into a whole segment. But I did do some research on the AI platform, where 98% of everything that's happened is whale activity. Okay, there's no proof of AI accumulation at this time in SHIB. There's just no evidence to support it, because the whale holders that are holding it have bought more. So it's the same wallets. They're just accumulating more SHIB. Does that make any sense to everybody? You get that? Yay! Right. So where does that leave us? It's self-generated profit. Whales. That's right. Ball cap whales. The ones that buy up massive chunks like 100,000, $1 million, $2 million worth. Last 48 hours, we had a massive whale buy 4.6 trillion. Nice, huh? 4.6. Nice. In just 48 hours. So there you go. They're the ones snagging it from everybody. So I'm pretty sure they're the ones giving the reports that you want to get out of cryptocurrency. Just saying, right? That's usually the way it goes. I mean, BlackRock did it to Bitcoin before they started their massive buy-in, and then of course when it goes up, they're selling theirs, but then they try and drive it down by being negative towards Bitcoin. And they have Gary Gensler, who was their puppet, and he was the one doing the work for them. Yeah, they would buy it at a lower price, sell it at a higher price, get Gary Gensler to talk about Bitcoin not getting their ETF. As soon as that happened, we have a big sharp sell-off in the markets. Gary Gensler says, no, the ETF is getting approved. We looked at I mean, come on. And people were falling for it. Like, that's the best part, right? People just instantly fell for Gary Gensler's and BlackRock's commentary. Same thing could be happening now. We just don't know who's doing it. That's the thing. I hate my lifestyle. Always. Meg! Mass love, shout out to Meg. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's type that. Oh no, we won't go. Don't go there. Don't go there. So fear, right? The biggest part of driving anything downward is fear. So fear is awesome, right? It helps everybody. It solidifies everybody's positions, helps bots make money on the down cycle of all the cryptocurrencies, because everything's taking a dive. I think that Bitcoin was at 112,000 from 118. So it lost a bit, and then we had some sell-off in Ethereum, which Ethereum should be now turning around and making headways, right? It's at 35,000, 3,500. Sorry, 35,000, 3,500. Everybody's like, "Woo, 35,000! Where? I didn't see that." Yeah. No, 3,500. Sorry. What else we got going on? We got some burns coming through. I can tell you about the burns. So we had 100,000 SHIB removed, which is pretty much 89 cents. Can't make this stuff up, guys. Yeah, it's bad. 4 hours ago, we did 170,000, which is about $1 worth of SHIB. 10 hours ago, it was 2,477,000. Reduced. Now, these don't seem like much, and I talked about this before. When AI gets involved, you're going to see this massively climb quickly. But people aren't going to be aware of it because it's still going to be very, very small and very, very fast. So most of the ones that you're going to see on SHIB burn, because I don't think that their servers are going to be able to keep up with it, is going to be quick, and they're going to be all over $1, $1.10, $5. Won't be anything under like 50 cents to 25. I don't think anything is going to be under $1. I think it's going to be just over $1, but it's going to be like every second, and that's how you'll know AI is taking over. And that's to watch for. Now, we want to get the Raffle going before that happens, because once AI starts that protocol, the volume is going to pick up drastically, but it's not going to be your volume that you like. It's going to be the volume that cripples the marketplaces. Because you got retail, okay? Remember, there's over 10 million retailers. All of them can be making money hand over fist, because they could be reducing SHIB constantly. Now, we talked about this before. If they were to start, if all 10 million companies were to buy SHIB, there's no supply. And then they're going to reduce the supply from you, because you're going to be the one selling it because the price has gone up, right? They're going to sell your supply as a loss. So therefore, it's going right into the burn wallet. So there's nobody that can get a hold of it. So even if you want to buy it back, now you're buying it strictly from the retailer or the organization that holds the AI bot. They're going to be paying a lot more money for it. And people are like, oh, no, you won't. Oh, yeah, you will. Because once it's removed, everybody misunderstands this, right? Once it's removed from the circulation, it's moved off of into a decentralized exchange or a blockchain. So then it's gone. So it's just like what? It's just like you burned it, except now they can put it back on the market. But they'll put it back slow increments, right? It's taken off the market so that you can't sell it, you can't buy it. And then when it's put back on, it's put back into lots of 30,000, 50,000 SHIB, but it's trading at almost a cent. And they're like, well, that means it's got a huge market cap. No, because all that money is now sitting on the sideline. And they're selling you only a portion of it, right? But they want to be in control of it. So they're going to burn, and it's not theirs that they're going to be burning. It's everybody else's supply that they're going to want to burn. So that you can't buy it back is basically what it is. And that's the trap of SHIB. And they did the exact same thing to Bitcoin, which I'm shocked that no one's, talked about except me. And that's the focus point of tonight's topic, is the fear-mongering between the what's going on in the world, in our world. I know Ballcap came on and talked about shady crypto shady, and said that he had a vision from Jesus. But I understand where they're coming from, but most of those, I like to keep that separate from money, right? Jesus Christ is Jesus Christ, and money is a tool. Jesus Christ is not a tool. Jesus Christ is life, right? And money or cryptocurrencies is a tool. How do you use that tool? How does it benefit you? That's the whole point of a tool, right? King of the tools, Bitcoin, if you want to look at it that way from standpoint next to gold, Bitcoin's better than gold, but gold's got a way bigger market cap than Bitcoin does. Eventually that will flip. Bitcoin will be the number one currency to hold as compared to gold. And the reason why that is, it's limited, right? It's limited supply. Now, as SHIB grows in the amount that's being reduced and the amount that's constantly being reduced, that's going to change. So, yeah, Bitcoin. Oh, products for less. Products for less. Thinks that Bitcoin is fool's gold. Interesting, considering that fool's gold is $112,000 right now, USDT. Pretty big fool's gold. A lot of people are fooled, I guess. Or he thinks they're fooled. You like gold? Gold's got more value than SHIB right now. More value, well, it's way more value than SHIB. More value than Bitcoin? Yeah, but you see the narrative is changing, right? Because there's limited Bitcoin. There's unlimited gold. No, there's not. Okay. There's no mining of gold going on right now, right? At least gold has. This is true. Products for less. This is true. Lusta. People can't tell. Lusta. Interesting concept. That's awesome. But we've heard that before. Ball cap. We like to think that SHIB will always bounce because it can't stay down forever. But the cryptocurrencies can't stay down, right? We're coming into what? Alt season. Everybody knows what alt season is? Second week of August. So this is the first week of August. Then we have the second week of August. And then we have the consolidation stage. And then we have the run up in September. And then we have the blast off in October. Ramirez, 5. Yeah, so products for less. It's true. Gold does have intrinsic value because you can tangibly touch it and hold it and put it in your safe and store it. It's not exactly easy to transfer all over the world, but you can physically hold on to it. And Bitcoin does have intrinsic value as well because you can buy it and sell it and buy products with it now. You can even go to the bar and buy and sell your Bitcoin. You can go to any of the BTC machines and sell your Bitcoin. It's costly to do it that way, but you can still do it. And you can buy homes with Bitcoin, and you can buy multiple facets with Bitcoin. A guy, for instance, just bought a brand new Porsche with his Bitcoin. And how many Bitcoin? Does anyone remember the Porsche that he bought? It was pretty high, right? It's a pretty extensive Porsche. It was like $243,000. He paid Bitcoin for it. It was like 4 Bitcoin. Back then, right? That was before it was 1,000, 100,000. It was before then. It was like 88, and yeah, 4 Bitcoin is what it cost him. And it Ramirez. No, Lulu. Aye. Interesting, Ramirez. Interesting. So SHIB should never go down in the first place, right? SHIB should always be going up. Constantly adding value and constantly growing in people coming into SHIB, buying SHIB. It costs you $12 right now to buy 1 million SHIB, which is fantastic for newcomers. Like, absolutely fantastic. Everyone in the world should be piling into SHIB. And this isn't financial advice by any means, but $12 is a lottery ticket. So when you buy a lottery ticket, do you look for financial advice to buy a lottery ticket? No. They tell you the odds, though. They're not good. In SHIB, you have a way better chance of being very, very profitable very, very quickly rather than buying a lottery ticket. But it gives you the opportunity to look at the same concept. And yes, no one's going to tell you to go, no financial advisor is going to tell you to go buy a lottery ticket, right? It's at your own discretion. And the same thing goes here. It's at your own discretion. Can SHIB go down? Absolutely. You got people willing to sell it. You got more people willing to sell it than buy it. Even though they know you have less supply, more wallet holders. You have less supply, more wallet holders. The price should be going up, not down. You're adding more value to SHIB every single day. So why are people more interested in selling it than buying it? Blow your mind. Blow your mind. It makes 0 sense. 0. But you have people selling it. What can you say? What can you say? Nothing. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense. And you're going to have exchanges should be reducing SHIB because they gain more volume. More volume means more money. More money means more demand. More demand drives in what? Profits. that's the loop, and exchanges haven't caught on to it, and they've had 2 opportunities to see it, and they don't recognize it. I don't know why, because they're all about making money. If you're all about making money, how come you're not taking part in it? If you're all about making money, that's the thing I don't understand. And they can drive it up in a heartbeat. All of them have this ability. Every single exchange out there. There's over 500, 600 exchanges right now. Every single one of them have the opportunity to do it. Now, I think they're afraid of is I don't have that much SHIB in my pocketbook. It's pretty simple. Buy it. Purchase SHIB. It's like paying yourself to burn it. That's exactly what it is. Because you get to write it off on your taxes. Now, be careful with that. Because you can only write off so much. Right? Your losses can't exceed your profits. Not forever. They can for a short period of time. Only BTC. Well, then GoToMining is where you want to go. So anyone know where GoToMining is? Just go grab the app, GoToMining. Because Bitcoin's too expensive, but you can buy a generator. And you have to pay a monthly fee. I think it's monthly fee, or you buy it outright and you get a yearly fee. Maybe it's a yearly fee that you have to pay. But once you have the generator, it generates Bitcoin for you. You have so many guesses and so many calculations, and you get so much Bitcoin just from having it. Now, it's supposed to pay for itself within 3 months or 4 months, according to their record books. Now, please take that with a grain of salt. The more people that come in and buy the generators, the less generators there are, so you have to pay more money for them. So first come, first serve. Like the first generator that you could have bought was around $23, $24. That was Canadian. And I believe now that's the minimum is $79 to $80 per generator. And as time goes on, those generators can become more expensive. So that's G2mining.com or G2 Mining app, if everyone's interested. And that's how I would look at buying BTC or getting into BTC. And just go with the mining part of it. That's just me, though. I don't know about the rest of you. And BTC, yeah, if you can afford to get into BTC, they're going to tell you can buy BTC for $10. 1/1000th of a BTC or 1 million SHIB. Your choice. They're roughly around the same price, right? 1/100000th of a BTC or 1 million SHIB. Your choice, though. No ball cap. No, I only stick to because it's on. You're putting your money in somebody else, and I don't like that. That's third party, right? And if your money's sitting in somebody else, might as well just stick it in SHIB. If it's $74, $80, $80 you can put it in SHIB. That's me personally, though, right? I bring up G2 Mining because we recommend G2 Mining compared to buying BTC outright. Because it's just cheaper. And if you only buy 1/1000th of a Bitcoin, Bitcoin's got to quadruple in price before you make any money. Like, you think about that, right? 4 times your money, like it's at 112. It has a hard time at 124,000 to maintain that volume, that level. Like, it has a really hard time maintaining that $124,000 level. So please keep that in mind, right? Right now it's at 112. We're moving into alt season, so there's more people getting out of Bitcoin and moving into Ethereum. And the way it works is they move into Ethereum, and then Ethereum takes off and hits all-time highs, roughly around the 10,000 to 12,000 range. That's where it's probably going to cap out at. And then it's going to go into Ripple, Solana. Then it breaches down into the exchanges. And then it breaches down into alt season. So that's why you get that in deterioration. People moving from Bitcoin into these other altcoins, going down the list. And of course, it starts off at the top 20, top 30, right? And then it moves through those, and then it goes to the other ones, to the more riskier place, where they can make even more money. They figure they can make more money moving the money through. And then we have retail investors coming on by that time because FOMO is starting to take over. And that's when we have that October blast off, November blast off, we get a bit of consolidation in November and December, the first and last weeks of November to December, and then we get a massive run up again, but nowhere near where October and November is, right? We usually cap out on the explosive part of alt season. We get slowdown, and then we get all the money coming off of us and going into the lower, more riskier plays. That's usually how it's played out in the last 4 years, or last 12 years. Sorry, 12 to 16 years. So please keep that in mind. Well, last 12 years anyway, because Bitcoin hasn't been around that long. It's been around a few years, but not that long. But it's more than, like, people, if you told that everybody was at 50 cents, it's going to 112,000, they would think you're crazy. If I told you that SHIB is going to $10, you'd think I'm crazy. SHIB can't go there because of the supply. SHIB can go there. It doesn't need to get rid of the supply. It just needs what? More people in it. A lot more people in it. 1 billion people, 2 billion people in it would definitely drive it there. But getting them there, that's the ticket. That's the ticket. Trying to drive that. But that's not going to happen. By the time they figure it out, it's going to be too late. The Raffle get going. Raffle can do it in 2.5 to 2.8 years. We can definitely get the supply roughly around that 2 billion area. 2 billion SHIB left in circulating supply. Price around 38 pounds. We can possibly get that going. So if we got people to buy the raffle tickets, but you got to sell the raffle tickets in order to get people into the raffle so that it has that domino effect, right? We want that domino effect. So people are going constantly buying and selling. And it doesn't have to be the same people, because the raffle is very inexpensive when you think about it. As far as SHIB, like right now, 62 cents US buys you 20 tickets, right? No, what was it? 62 cents buys you one SHIB. Well, buys you one ticket. 56,000, yeah. 56,000 SHIB buys you one ticket. To buy 20 tickets, it's going to cost you 1.12 million for 20 tickets, which is just over $12, right? Everybody get that? So right now, the price is so low that you're getting more bang for your buck. You're getting way more SHIB for your buck. So that gives you billions of, like, before it was 90 billion, now it's over 120 billion, or 1 billion 120, right? So somewhere around there. So for max, right? So you're getting way more, like 112 billion SHIB if we did the max per person that can win, right? Which is 1 million pounds worth of SHIB. Like, that's amazing. Amazing. Anyway, I'm Will, your host of the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. I am also the broadcast of SHIB TV network, broadcasting network. So, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And as always, we like to end the segment with John 3:16. So we want to do massive love shoutouts to Ballcat, massive love shoutouts to Ramirez, massive love shoutouts to Faye. Products for Less, massive love shout out to you. Thank you so much for sharing your opinion on Bitcoin. Massive love shout out to Fives. Meg, massive love shout out to you. Gabriel, massive love shout out to you. VE, massive love shout out to you. Gabriel, Leah, massive love shout out to you. Massive love shout out to every single person that comes in. Abby, Prince, massive love shout out to you. Jason Cox, Mark Anthony, massive love shout out to you. I hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And we like to leave you with John 3:16. God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, the Lamb of God. Back, homies. Yes, Fives, John 3:16 is where we're leaving off tonight. So God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, as the Lamb of God, who take away the sin of the world. And hallelujah to everybody. Thanks for coming in, and really appreciate that. Yes, massive love shout out to Ballcap. Prayers always, right? Because Jesus Christ does forgive us of our sin. and that we understand that the blood that was shed for us on the cross, on Calvary, did not go unnoticed and did not go unwarranted, so that we ask for forgiveness for our sins in Jesus Christ's name, so that we may have a spot in heaven when we pass over, right? So thanks be to Lord Jesus Christ always, and hits you here all the time, right? That the sacrifice that he gave is absolute profound love for every single one of us. Thank you so much for enjoying the show, and until tomorrow, right, guys? That's why we always leave it with the littlest hobo. Until tomorrow, we'll wanna settle down. There's an interesting show. Forrest. My name is Forrest. Forrest Gump. We own Bubble Gum. Yeah, we got more money than Davy Crockett. Anyway, God bless you. Have a great Saturday, everybody. Enjoy. Join me.